you always need to focus, in my mind, about the things that's going to make me a better person or is going to make me have a better success. That's why this topic, in my mind, is very important. Okay? And that's why before we talked about, if you watch me, I'm going on one line, performing aqidah, performing ibadat, having the heart clear toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what I should do to be better. Even in the ICK, I used to do a session of ahabbul a'mali ila Allah. What is the most lovable thing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I chose a particular topic. But I have a lot of suggestions from people. To me, with all respect to everybody, it doesn't help. You don't need it. It's information. I don't need information. I need something to move me, to make me better. To make me, when I'm sitting down and thinking, I'm saying Subhanallah, bihamdi Subhanallah al-Azim. He wants my heart and my vision to be connected to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I make mistake, I repent. If I make mistake, I make istighfar. I'm a human being. I'm going to do mistake. I am. But my heart, when I'm by myself, I need to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how can I achieve this? How can I get better? How can I get closer? And then another thing I'd like to tackle are the things that will make me a loser. For example, I made khutbah Jum'ah about how to be humble, showing off, admiring yourself. I am better than anybody else. I have more information. I made Qiyamul Layl. I wake up for Fajr. I made this, I made that. And that's another thing is, even though there are good deeds, but those good deeds are killing. They will kill a person. That's why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu one time said, if I sleep and I don't get up for Qiyamul Layl, I will wake up in the morning, I will be sorry. يعني لأن أنام وأصبح نادما خيرا لي من أن أقوم وأصبح معجبا بعملي. You know? Look at the scale here. Look at the, you know.
But that will not be for the Fajr prayer. It will be for the Qiyam al-Layl. Fajr prayer is a...
I said Qiyam al-Layl. I didn't say for Fajr. I said Qiyam al-Layl. Now, see? So this is the other thing is al-i'jab, al-ghurur. I am better than anybody else. I look down on people. I don't respect everybody. I don't. Even though, I know, you know, I've heard and I've seen some people said, I am adapted to the Sunnah. Look at that guy. He came, his dress all the way down to Al-Ka'bayn. He's in hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ said, مَا زَادَ عَنِ الْكَعْبَيْنِ فِي النَّارِ. He made a mistake. Maybe he doesn't know. Why are you looking at him so in a degradeful way? Why you are insulting him? He's your brother. You love him? Go talk to him. Give him advice. Maybe he doesn't think so. Maybe he doesn't believe so. There are so many people, they believe that this becomes the custom. You know, I'm just bringing an example. But the statement of the heart, it shouldn't be, you know. And always, those are what I call them in my mind, they are all the killing things. Al-i'jab, al-ghurur. And that's why Abdullah Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said in the Bukhari, Ithnatan, two things will make you successful. And at-tawbah wal-inaba. And two things will kill you. Al-qunutu wal-ghurur.
At-tawbah and what?
Al-qunut.
No, that's the first two things.
Wal-ghurur.
Tawbah and what?
Two things that will save you. You always make tawbah, you know, to repent, and always return to Allah. Returning to Allah, some people explained it in this situation is by checking yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Somebody else said, Al-inaba ilallah, making sure that your work is sincere to Allah. Okay? Another person said, Al-inaba is always hiya al-muraqaba. You're always observing Allah. Am I doing this in the right way? Is Allah happy with me? Am I being saved? Am I being okay with this job? وَأَنَابُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَأَنَابُوا إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ. And inaba. At-tawbah wal-inaba. You always check yourself. You always make tawbah. If you always make tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tawbah nasuha, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you. Inaba, when you are always watching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will be what they call like a guideline you're working with all the time, and you're watching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You check mark yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Is this pleasing Allah? Am I on the right side? You know, and inaba. And the two other things, wal khusran and al khasara, and two other things. Al qunut. Al qunut is to give up. That I have done so many mistakes that Allah is not going to forgive me. This is a killing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the ayah of Surah Al-Zumar, ayah number 53, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي قُلْ. It's an order to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to tell all the people, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي. Now, first of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed the people with the word, lovable word called ibadi. And the scholar have written some kind of a booklet about al-ad'iyya al-muhabbaba. This is one of them. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming closer to you. He's calling you with a beautiful name. قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي. You know, it's like your father is calling his children, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, يَا أَوْلَادِي, يَا أَحِبَّائِي. You know, in what they call lovable term. Okay? He didn't say, oh, you people. People is general. قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي. You belong to me. الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Even though you are my ibadi, even though you belong to me, lovable term. But those ibad asrafu ala anfusihim, they've done so many mistakes. They've done so much wrongful act. So you are the one who is making all those acts, sinful act, bad act. Do not give up on the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. And then iteration after iteration after iteration, assurance after assurance. إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. Allah will forgive all the sin collectively.
What was the Arabic term for giving up? What was it?
قنوت.
Qunut.
لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Do not give up on the mercy of Allah. Do not give up on the forgiveness of Allah. And then the ayah, this ayah is very beautiful ayah. As a matter of fact, the scholar of the language, they said this is one of the most assuring ayah in the Quran because of so many articles had contained into it. There are so many articles. Inna Allah yaghfiru al is one of the articles. Al-dunuba jami'a inha huwa al-ghafur, alif lam, al-ghafur, al-rahim. You see so many assurances. So this is one of the most assuring ayah in the Quran. So do not give up on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, the killing things is when you have qunut, giving up on the mercy of Allah. The second one is al-ujb wal-ghurur, to show, to like, to admire yourself. You think you are better than others. To put yourself in a higher status than everybody else. You like what you're doing to the point that, and that's why the scholar, they went so much in defining al-ujb wal-ghurur. They said al-ujb is not only to like yourself. It's a very critical word in Arabic. That's why the scholar of Arabic, they have so many meaning. When you find a word and has in it too many definitions, that means the scholar did not agree on one particular definition. Everybody see an angle, but at the end, if you collect all of what they say, you will have a picture, you have a vision, you have a tasawwur, you know, an idea, an understanding. So some of the scholars said al-ujb, where you like,
Ayn, Jim, Mim, Ujub.
ayn, jeen, ba, ayn, jeen, ba, ujb. Ujb. So al-ujb is that you feel you're very good. And that's diseases to it. If you are doing very well, then you're not going to do any more. That's what the problem with al-ujb. If you're doing well, and you think you're doing well, and you're doing the best, then you don't do any more. Or somebody says, it is enough. I've done enough. Okay? It is not enough. You will never do enough. Okay? This ujb. Somebody says ujb is you put yourself on a high status where it's going to make you look down on others. So it said al-ujb has two problems. First of all, you elevate yourself. Second of all, you put people down. Okay? And each one has that. Then other people said ujb. Like for example, I have enough knowledge. That's going to make me stop from seeking more knowledge, from seeking more ta'allum. Having ujb, that is going to make me disrespect a person who is giving a lecture. For example, you go to khutbah al-jum'ah, I'm a very scholarful person, the guy is making khutbah al-jum'ah, I look at him down. Everything he said I know. He's not telling me anything he knew, so I do not respect him. That's ujb. Okay? Or criticizing everybody because I am better. Ujb will make you put in a status, I have to criticize to show off. Because in order for you to get high, you either yourself has to climb up by knowledge, you know, by learning, by training, by anything. Or if I don't climb myself up and exert myself by learning and by having experience, by watching other, by listening to other, that's one way. The other way is to stay where I am and put everybody down. Try to put everybody down. You see? So on both of them, this is not right. To put everybody down, it is not. Okay? So this is ujb. Ujb has those kind of, so many diseases. So if a person has ujb, he's not going to do more. He's not going to learn more. He's going to degrade others. He's going to put down others. I'm hafiz. I'm doctor. I am this. I am that. So who are you? It's like, you know, so many times you hear people talking to somebody who graduated from Kulliyat al-Sharia. He will look at you and say, who are you? I graduated from Kulliyat al-Sharia. You don't have as much knowledge as I am. So in other words, you shut up. When I speak, you shut up. No. So this is the problem. So this is what Abu Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, the killing things in two. One, al-qunut, to give up on the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing, al-ujb wal-ghurur, that you see yourself is better, you know. So those are important topics to talk and to tackle with people. It's rather than talking and wasting time about ad-dabba, Shams coming out from the west rather than the east. Okay, we believe in them, but I need something to help me. To help me where? To help me in my daily life, to help me to control my tongue, to help me to control my behavior, to help me when I go down to my grave, to help me when I stand between the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to help me when I have the scale. You see? What's going to be heavy in my scale? And this is what we're going to talk about today, inshallah. Al-a'mal al-muthaqqila lil-mizan.
Before we jump to you just explain the problem. Please explain for us the solution for the problem. So you explain for us ujb as a big problem. Can you give us in 2 sentences how we can not be like that or cure ourselves from that disease? How can we be aware and not do that? Yeah, if we are mubtaleen with ujb and such, and everybody has some, so how can we not be that? Just a little sentence to how we cure ourselves.
Now, is the problem always occur when we give an example, then the example becomes the class. This is an example. This is not the class. The class today is what's going to make you happy in the scale. So that will be another class. It's talking about ujub and what the parameters of ujub and how I can get rid of it. But anyway, to get rid of it is to, like what the scholar said, it is very important to know that I will never get enough. I am not better than anybody else. And the biggest problem and the disease of Iblis is al-kibr. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him in Surah Al-A'raf, فَخْرُجْ مِنْهَا فَمَا كَانَ لَكَ أَن تَتَكَبَّرَ فِيهَا. You don't have the right to be arrogant. So the biggest problem and the problem that made Lucifer out of Jannah and prevented him from prostrating to Adam is being arrogant. Ana, look, what did he say? Exactly, word by word, letter by letter. Ana, khayrun min, khalaqtani min nar, wa khalaqtahu min tin. This is the exact wording in the Quran. So when always, and that's why the scholars spoke about, when you always look at ana, there's a problem. Ana, it is the individuality of the person.
Me.
It is haddul nafs. You know, haddul nafs. And even though some people, Imam Ibn Abi Dunya, Imam Ibn Abi Dunya wrote a booklet. It's called Haddul Nafs. Haddul Dunya. Haddul Nafs. It is ana. I need to be beautiful, the most beautiful. I need to be the most rich. I need to be the knowledgeable. I. And that's why when you're having that I, that individualism, the scholars said, you need to remember, if you have that disease, you need to remember Hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that it was reported in Muslim. What does Hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu say? That the Prophet ﷺ said, أول ما تسعر النار بثلاث. The first thing that the fire, the hellfire, will be started, will be so excited, will be giving the fuel with three kind of people. Three kind of people. And those people are Muslims. Those people are Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ warned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring and ask him, what did you do in your life? He said, Ya Rab, ta'allamtu al-Qur'ana wa 'allamtu. You know, I spent all my life learning the Quran, learning how to make the dream, learning how to make tafsir, learning how to recite, learning all the rules and regulations of the Quran. I spent all my life learning that. And then the rest of my life, I learned, I spent to teach that. Okay. The Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or somebody, according to the understanding of the hadith, that somebody will tell him, or Allah will tell him subhanahu wa ta'ala, كذبت, you are a liar. You didn't do that for me. You did that for people to elevate you. You were working for the ana. You're working for people to say you are a scholar. And that's what you wanted. You're working for the ana. Me, like, and people said it. You became so scholar, you know, high in knowledge and this and that. So people, they used to say, alim so and so, you know, so and so, doctor so and so, this and that. And they said it. So you got what you want. Take him to hellfire. The same thing comes with the guy who worked and he became a generalist. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell him, كذبت. You said what you said, you worked all your life, you spent money on the orphans, on the needy, on this and that, for people to love you, to praise you, You're working for the ana, to say that you are generous. And the person who fought, he wasted his life. He sacrificed his life in the battlefield, but not for the sake of Allah. It's for the sake of ana. For people you call jari, or jo. And they said it. So take him to hellfire. So this is the ana. And this is the ana come from the devil. By saying, ana khayrun min khalaqtani min nar wa khalaqtani min tin. So that's why people, they said, another simple definition, they said al-ikhlas, to be sincere, to know who you're working for. Are you working for the ana, or you're working for Allah? It's either one of those two. You work for the ana, or you're working for Allah. There's no third one. Either you're working for people to praise you, you're working to get the benefit, or to get status, to get the president, to get the chairman of the board, to get to be rich, to get to marry somebody, It is you're working for you, or you're working for Allah. من عمل عملا, حديث صحيح مسلم, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the hadith Qudsi, من عمل عملا أشرك فيه غيري, whoever done a work that incorporates somebody else with me, تركته وشركه, I left him with his shirk. I'm not going to accept. إن الله لا يقبل, another hadith, إن الله لا يقبل من الأعمال إلا ما خلص له. Allah will not accept any deed unless it is pure, sincere, 100%, 100%. Remember the word, 100% for Allah. No 99, no 1%. You cannot say I'm working 99% for Allah and 1% for me. No, it will not. And that's the hadith also in another hadith Muslim, when the Sahabi came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked him, he said, I like to do things for Allah, but I like people to know about. Yeah, there's that percentage for ana. The Prophet ﷺ did no. فَثَقُلَتْ عَلَى الصَّحَابَةِ, it became hard on the Sahaba. So they nudged him. Ask him again. Maybe he didn't hear you. So he asked him again. And the Prophet ﷺ said, La shay'a la, nothing for him. They nudged him again. Ask him. So he asked him for the third time. He said, no. And then the Prophet ﷺ made its statement clear. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَقْبَلُ مِنَ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَّا مَا خَلَصَ لَهُ. Allah will not accept any deed unless it is 100% sincere for Him. Are you working for the ana, or are you working for Allah? Al-Ujb, Al-Ghurur, you're working for the ana. That's why you're bankrupt. You don't have anything. You're working everything. There's an internal indication inside yourself. I am doing this for people to see, for the ana. I am learning this for people to say, working for the ana. I am, ana. This is al-ujb. And this is the biggest problem. And then there are other problems like I indicated. It comes after it. When you have al-ujb, when you have the disease, there are so many signs of that disease. Degrading others, not learning, showing off, maybe lying, maybe. There are so many. So fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, loving to be successful yourself, I need to love Allah. I need to be successful in the hereafter. So I need to be sincere to Allah. Okay? And there are other scholars, they tackle the problem in a totally different way. How they tackle the problem? By making you aware of those people you're trying you're wasting your deed to please. So those people, they come from psychological point of view and they said, okay, today you're trying to please this particular crowd. You're trying to show off in front of this particular crowd. So this guy will praise you, this guy will compliment you, this guy will love you, this guy will smile for you, this and that. What all of this worth? What does it do to you? They're trying to convince you from a point that everything you hear is a lip talk. In actuality, it's nothing. Somebody says you're great. Okay, thank you. So what? What did you get? Nothing. You wasted your good deed. You wasted hours of learning and preparation for somebody to give you a lip talk. So they tackle you, those psychiatrists, they're trying to tackle that particular ujb from that point, that those people who they are praising you today, they're nothing. It's only a lip talk. I can sit down for 20 minutes and praise you for what you have done, for the way you dress, the way you have your beard, the way you made your salah, My lip talk to you, did it increase your hasana? No. Did it put money in your pocket? No. Did it increase you in your job? What did it do? Nothing. It's a lip talk. Another thing is, another point those psychiatrists try to tackle that point is that those people who they praise you today, they might be pissed off at you next day and they put you down. So the scholar says, in this situation, do not be like a balloon. People can make you big and people can make you small. Have more value for yourself, not to be al-uba, not to be a toy in those people's hand. Somebody says you're great, I became like a balloon, I get him, And somebody said you're not good, you go down. And that's why will lead us to another thing. They said, what is al-ikhlas? How do I know the parameters of ikhlas? They said the parameter of ikhlas are two things. لا يزداد بمدح الناس وتقديرهم لا يزداد ولا ينقص بذم الناس. I'm doing good work as long as people praising me. The more they praise me, the more they compliment me, the harder the work I do. If people try to criticize me, you criticize me, then I'm not going to do it anymore. You see? So those are the two parameters. If you do not get affected by the compliment of the people, your work is your work. And you do not get affected by the criticism, and your work is still the same work. And the criticism, I don't want somebody to misunderstand me, sometimes it's good. If somebody criticizes, then I can take it into a good way to find out what my mistakes, and then I can correct. But not to look at it from that point of view and say, you don't like what I'm doing? No, I'm not doing it anymore. So it doesn't matter then to me, what are you trying to say? What matters to me is that you only praise me. When you do not praise me, then I'm not going to do it. That's another point. So this is al-ujb. You trying to make yourself focus on pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't care what you like and what you don't like. All what I care about is what I'm doing. Is it clear? Is it pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do I get rewarded for it or not? That's it. That's my only goal. من جعل الهموم هما واحدا. The Prophet ﷺ said, من جعل الهموم هما واحدا هم المعاد كفاه الله هموم الدنيا وأتته الدنيا وهي راغمة. من جعل الهموم, all the worries that in this dunya, you made it only one worry. What that worry is? To be successful in the hereafter. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. جَمَعَ اللَّهُ شَمْلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help him. Because it is, if you do this, you get this. If you worry about the hereafter, Allah is with you. جَمَعَ شَمْلًا. And then the dunya, وَأَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ. Things from this dunya will come to you as assigned to you by Allah. Because everything is assigned to you by Allah. So it's going to come to you. وَمَنْ جَعَلَ الدُّنْيَا هَمَّهُ. And the person who makes the dunya is his ham, his worry. لَمْ يُبَالِ اللَّهُ بِهِ فِي أَيِّ أَوْدِيَتِهَا هَلَكَ. Ad-dunya has so many valleys, has so many branches. You see? So if the dunya is your worry, then the dunya has money, status, position, houses, women, cars, money, checking account, ranking in the people, whatever. Dunya has so many valleys, has so many branches. If the dunya is your worry, then you become the best. You want to be the most beautiful, you want to be the strongest, you want to be the richest, you want to have this, you want to have that, you want to have this, you want to have that. You're always looking at the dunya. And the dunya is endless. The dunya is endless. So that's what the hadith look at it. لَمْ يُبَالِ اللَّهُ بِهِ. Allah does not care about him. فِي أَيِّ أَوْدِيَتِهَا هَلَكَ. He can be dying achieving money. He'll be dying achieving position. He'll be dying achieving houses or cars or status or this or that. They're talking about the other day, even though it is out of the subject and I'm sorry, they're talking about Reagan. They said, what are the accomplishments of Reagan, the president Reagan? And they said one of the things is, he left the office. He is the most lovable president when he was leaving the office. And he was an actor, he was this, he was a governor, then this and this and this, and then he was the president, he was rich, he was this. He was too many accomplishments, okay? So, look, he worked for all those branches of the dunya, and he got to a high status. At the end of his life, his family, and even some of the government people, they did not allow anybody to see him. Because he became senile, he doesn't know what to do, he's having an act that it does not fit, so he hit bottom. Subhanallah, he hit bottom. لم يبال الله به في أي أوديتها هلك. Doesn't matter how many status you get, but what do you have with Allah? This is the dunya. You can achieve too many things, but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not care about you, how you die or where you die. Seeking what? هم المعاد, the worry about the hereafter. So if you look at it from that point, this is what the scholar, the psychiatrist is talking about, that first of all, it's a lip talk. It doesn't do you no good. Second of all, those people who they are praising you today, they might cussing you and putting you down tomorrow. Another thing is, the third channel, those psychiatrists, I'm trying to summarize what they have done. They said, nobody will last. Go back to your life 40 years ago. Who did you know? What are your people around you? Who were your friends? They're gone. Okay, 40 years ago. Now let's go back 30 years ago, 10 years later. How many people you have? How many people do you know? Where are they? They're gone. What happened to their lip talk? Gone. What happened to whatever you have tried to perform with them? It is gone. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, today. this group of people, all of us, 10 years from now, we may not be the same. So if I'm trying to please you, I'm trying to seek your praising, I'm trying to seek your compliment, I'm trying to seek your lip talk, beside it is nothing, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't increase anything in me. And 10 years from now, you're not going to be here, or I'm not going to be here. So in other words, everything you're working for the ana, it's bound to zero. The only thing that will stay with you is to work with Allah, to be sincere to Allah. Allah is the only one who's going to be with you. Allah is the one who is the source of everything to you. Okay? And then, hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it's a beautiful hadith. I was going to make a Jum'ah, but I never had the chance, is that the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have ordered Yahya, you know, the Prophet Yahya alayhi salam, he had ordered him to deliver 5 commands to the people of Bani Israel. For some reason, he delayed that order. He didn't do it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Isa alayhi salam, you know, so Isa alayhi salam went to Yahya, and those two, they are awlad khala, you know. The mother of Yahya is the sister of the mother of Isa alayhi salam, awlad khala. So when Isa alayhi salam got the news from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, went to Yahya. He said, Ya Yahya, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have ordered you to deliver to the people of Bani Israel 5 commands. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. So you make your choice. So Yahya alayhi salam said, if you do it, I will be afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish me. So Yahya alayhi salam got up and called the people of Bani Israel. This is in the house of Baytul Maqdis. So the people of Bani Israel, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said, they got gathered until they became too many. They sat on the shurufat, on the high points of Baytul Maqdis. You know, they got that many of them. And then Yahya alayhi salam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have ordered me to deliver to you 5 things. The first thing is, which is the subject of that particular question, is the first thing is that أن تعبدوا الله ولا تشركوا به شيئا, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do not ascribe partners to Him, and be sincere. This is what the point is. وَمِثَالُ ذَلِكَ, the beauty of this hadith, that Yahya alayhi salam, as he is giving the order, he is making an example of that order. And then he was telling the people of Bani Israel, وَمِثَالُ ذَلِكَ, the example of that, for us to comprehend, to understand, that somebody bought a slave, min hurri malihi, I bought a slave from my own money, nobody, in other words, I have no partners with me, no nothing. This is my own money, 100%. I bought this slave. And I told this slave, here's where you work all day long. At the end of the day, you bring the result of what you work to me. And this abd, this slave, worked all day long, and whatever he had made, the result, he gave it to somebody else. Yahya alayhi salam is giving that example. Ayyukum, which one of you will like this particular slave? None of you. I bought a slave to work for me from my own money. I provided him everything. He is working and the result is giving to somebody else. This is the example of the person who is ascribing partners to Allah. Allah is the one who created you. Allah is the one who gave you life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who guided you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for you rizq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for you everything. He is the one who found you and gave you everything. What you have to do, you have to work. You have to worship sincerely to Allah. But rather than you worship sincerely to Allah, you worship somebody else. You ascribe partners to Allah. Well, He brought you. He gave you. It's like that person who bought that slave. You know, he has no partner. He bought him from his own money. He's working and giving somebody else. Jazakallah khair. So this is the example of Yahya alayhi salam for people of Bani Israel. So anyway, the hadith is beautiful. There are other stuff in it. But this is what concerns us today, is that when you said that you are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in fact you're worshipping yourself. You're working for the ana. You're working for the ana. And those are the three things that will tackle ujb. That people will give you only lip talk, does not increase you in anything. Those people who can lift you, he can put you down. The one who compliments you and praise you, they are the same people who can put you down if you let them. If you gave them the power to elevate you by complimenting you, then you're giving them the power when they insult you and curse you to put you down, to degrade you. So it's a liqta. Also, if they can elevate you, they can put you down. The third thing, people are changing. Nothing will be lasting. Nothing. Even your kids. You love your kids so much. They grow up, they fall in love, they get married, they go away. You're trying to call them to come and see you every once in a while. Nobody will last for you. Who will last for you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Harun al-Rashid radiallahu anhu, when he died, and everybody around him knew it. And he said, and he started feeling that everybody is looking now, who's going to be after him? Who's going to be the new Khalifa? You know, Al-Ma'mun, or Al-Amin. And then he said, take me to the grave where I'm going to be buried. So they took him to the grave where he's going to be buried. And he looked at it. And he said, I'm going to be all alone. If I had this feeling today before, I would have changed my life. If the same feeling I have today, right now, when he was looking at the grave, and he knows he's there, and the people, all the people around him, they were loving him, they were afraid of him, they were praising him, they were, whatever they were doing. Now, when they realize he's gone, or he's dying, and they're trying to get away from him, he realized that fact. He said, if I know right now what I knew before, I would have changed my life. Okay? So nobody will last. Nobody will be with you except Allah. Nobody will help you except Allah. Nobody will be able to save you except Allah. So for you to have ujb al-ana, it's not going to do you no good. The lip talk of people is not going to do you any good. The praising of people, the compliment of people, whatever people do, they're not going to do you any good. We have to realize this. And that's why some of the scholars, they said, what is the definition of riya to the Arabs? Forget the Sharia. Forget the definition of the Sharia. If I grab a person in the desert, forget about Islam. A person in the desert, from Arabic point of view, and I ask that person in the desert, what does a riya mean? That Arabic person in the desert will tell you, الرياء to him, selling something very valuable with very minute things, something it is not. I have this worth $1,000, very valuable. I'm going to sell it for a penny. This is a riyah. How can I put this into the Sharia point of view? Okay. I'm giving this class, for example, for the sake of Allah. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts my work, He may give me Jannah. He may forgive me. Is there anything more valuable than this? No. I am selling all of this for a lip talk, for somebody to praise me, for somebody to say you're a scholar, or you're very good, or you're very interesting. What is the comparison between this lip talk to the Jannah? It is a lot more than the comparison between this one that's worth $1,000 that if I sell it for a penny. So in other words, you're selling a job that might get you a Jannah, عرضها السماوات والأرض, for something nothing, for a lip talk. Okay? So this is the answer for the question of the sister, Jazakallah khair. You know, or some of it, you know, that there are more points to it, but that's why usually the exam will become the class rather than the class itself. So anyway, it's 106. The title of the class today, inshallah, الأعمال المثقلة في الميزان. الأعمال that is going to be heavy in your scale on the judgment day. We talked about the scale, it is a reality. We talked about the scale and the value of it and the volume of it. The scale can be weighed in it, the whole universe, the skies and the earth. In the scale, we can be weighed the good deed. People can be weighed there, you know, in the Mizan. So, and the deed, all of it, the good deed, the bad deed, whatever is going to be in the scale. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this scale in the Quran so many times. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that. For me as a Muslim, it's not as a Muslim, back up, as a person. Anybody, if you have a job that is going to offer you $10 an hour, or a job is going to offer you $15 an hour, which one would you take? The one for $15. You know, if you are a merchant, you deal with the product and the commodity that's going to bring you more profit, right? So for me as a person, I need to know what are the things going to be heavy in my scale on the judgment day. Being intelligent, you know, I'm not going to waste my time, you know, working for peanuts if I can work for gold. Nobody will do that, okay? Unless there are something wrong with their mind. So it is important to me to know what I need to do in order for my scale to be heavy. Now, we put over here 6 items. There are more than 6 items. There are a lot more. But we're talking with priority. Number one, we have to have the proper aqidah. Without the proper aqidah, nothing will be accepted. For example, Brother Hassan has a company. How about if I work all day long trying to make advertisement for his company? And then at the end of the day, I go to him and I said, give me $100. For what? I worked all day long making advertisement for your company. You're not my employee. I did not hire you. I did not ask you. I didn't hire you. You worked on your own. It's up to you. You have nothing. You have no right to ask me. This example is, in order for you, you have to be employed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to be among the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to be among the Muslims. I have to, I cannot go to a club unless I become a member. Everybody knows that. You see? Go to Costco and try to buy something. He said you have to have membership. Otherwise you cannot buy. You have to be a member. In order for you to be a member, you have to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. You have to be a member with the proper things. When you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, you have to be sincere, you have to be sure, you have to believe, you have to obey, you have to be in continuation of doing what is required of you to do. You have to. When I say La ilaha illallah, it is not only one time, it's not a lip talk, it's an act, it's a belief, it's a state of the heart, state of the mind. It's a way of life. It's a policy that I'm gonna live by, is gonna govern all aspects of my life. La ilaha illallah. I don't worship anybody. I don't obey anybody. I don't love anybody. I don't listen to anybody. I don't worry about anybody except to please Allah, to follow the order of Allah. قُلْ إِنْ أَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيْهِ. I work with the guidance. I don't eat anything unless that pleases Allah. I don't dress anything unless it pleases Allah. I don't act in any way except to please Allah. I am a Muslim. Before I do anything, what does Islam require of me to do in this particular point? How do I buy? How do I sell? How do I get married? How do I get dispute? How do I do anything? I need to go into Islam to find out what are the guidelines in order for me to follow it. Why? Because I'm a member. I said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah. So when I become a member, I have to follow the proper guidelines. I have to understand to follow. Okay? And this is what we call the aqidah. The problem with most of us is we say the aqidah, but we really don't understand. We don't understand. In order for you to have the proper aqidah, you have to understand the proper names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because a shirk is to violate any criteria of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A shirk is to violate any names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? This is very, very important. Shirk is to violate any names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you believe somebody can benefit you beside Allah, that's shirk. If you believe anybody can harm you beside Allah, that is shirk. Because everything in the hand of Allah. Somebody might hurt you, but when he hurts you by the permission of Allah. Okay? When somebody benefits you, he benefits you by the permission of Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one in command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one in control. You have to believe that. You have to have your heart and your mind connected with Allah. This is what Islam is all about. To have this proper aqidah, proper understanding of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Most of us today, we say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, but what does Muhammad Rasulullah mean? Ask anybody. You believe in Muhammad Rasulullah? Yes. What does it mean? Muhammad Rasulullah. طيب جزاك الله خير. ممتاز. So what does it mean? You look at that person, which I had a discussion the other day with a person here in the masjid. He came after Maghrib. He's praying 6 rak'ah. Why are you praying 6 rak'ah? Ya akhi, I pray every day after Maghrib 6 rak'ah. But why? He said, this is a good ibadah. Who taught you this? Nobody. I learned it myself. It's okay for you to pray 6 rak'ah. But this is bid'ah. When I told the guy this is bid'ah, wallahi, if he was able to hit me, he would have hit me. I'm making salah and you're telling me it's bid'ah? I said yes. Because whenever you initiate ibadah, you initiated ibadah. In a certain time, in a certain number, you have to have a proof. You have to have a proof. You can pray one time 6 rak'ah. Next day you pray 4. The day after you pray 8. Few days later you pray another 6. It's fine. But for you to initiate, this is what they call it, initiation. And that's why Imam al-Shafi'i radiyallahu anhu said, "Man istahsana faqad sharra." When you say this is hasan, this is good, without a proof, you're making tashri'. Don't misunderstand me by saying, well, Brother Abdullah said it is bid'ah for you to pray sunnah after Maghrib. No, it is not bid'ah. You pray. But for you to make yourself connected or promise or to get a habit, 6 rak'ah every day after Maghrib, you should have a proof. You cannot initiate the ibadah. So when you said Muhammad Rasulullah, it means I believe he is the Prophet of Allah. I give alliance, I give
obedience.
Obedience. Obedience. Wala. I give wala. I give my commitment to the Prophet ﷺ to follow him, to do what he ordered me to do, to stay within his guidelines, to believe in everything he told me, past, present, and future, not to deviate from his teaching, to believe he came with the ultimate best. He came with the best thing for me. وَمَا مِن شَيْءٍ, the Prophet ﷺ said, there is nothing that will bring you closer to Jannah and make you away from the hellfire إِلَّا وَدَلَلْتُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ وَمَا مِن شَيْءٍ يُبَاعِدُكُم مِّنَ الْجَنَّةِ وَيُقَرِّبُكُم مِّنَ النَّارِ إِلَّا وَنَهَيْتُكُمْ عَنْهُ. There is nothing that will bring you closer to Jannah and away from the hellfire except I told you about. And the opposite, the thing that will bring you away from the Jannah and bring you closer to the hellfire, I warned you about. There's nothing. So the ultimate truth is with the Prophet. The best teaching is the teaching of the Prophet. I have to follow his guideline. I cannot initiate. I cannot innovate. I cannot start anything that he did not do. So you always, this is what Muhammad Rasulullah means. But we all say it, but we say so many things. Muhammad Rasulullah told you about this? No. So then, you make it? He said, Ya akhi, it's good. This is another thing people tell me. Ya akhi, it's good. Like this guy was making six rak'ah salah. He said, Ya akhi, it is good. It is good. And the Prophet did not tell you about. It is good. And the Prophet ﷺ failed to tell us about. You know better than the Prophet. You have discovered something more beneficial than the Prophet. No, I didn't say that. No, you did say that. You did say that. You're either accusing the Prophet ﷺ by not delivering the message. You're accusing the Prophet ﷺ that there is something good he didn't tell you about. or you are claiming that you know better than the Prophet. And all of this are wrong. The best thing is to follow what the Prophet said. The closest road to Jannah is the road of the Prophet ﷺ. Those people, they sit down, and they have, like my mother, rahimahullah, and rahimallahu ummahatkum, they used to have this worry bees, 1,000, al-alfiyah. She used to put it around here. Ya Latif, 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 Ya Latif. She want to make 1,000 before done. Who taught you this? Who gave you this? Oh, it is good. I am making remembrance of Allah. Like, ya akhi, remembering of Allah is according to Muhammad Rasulullah. When you said Muhammad Rasulullah, what are you saying? Please understand what Muhammad Rasulullah. Understand when you say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu, I bear witness that Muhammad Rasulullah. What does Muhammad Rasulullah mean? That is, he is Rasulullah, the messenger of Allah, the one who delivered the order of Allah to me, the one who taught me about Islam, the one who taught me how to worship Allah, the one who taught me what to say, what to do, how to make dhikr, how to make salah. خُذُوا عَنِّي مَنَاسِكَكُمْ صَلُّوا كَمَا رَأَيْتُمُونِي أُصَلِّي. Pray as you see me pray. Take from me all your rituals, all the things that you need to do in Islam. This is what Muhammad Rasulullah means. Sometimes I doubt myself. All of those people said Muhammad Rasulullah, they don't understand what Muhammad Rasulullah means. This is what it means. And when I try to tell people, tell me what Muhammad Rasulullah means, they laugh at me. Now are you trying to tell me, I've been a Muslim for 40 years, now you're trying to teach me what Muhammad Rasulullah means? Yeah. Because we don't understand what Muhammad Rasulullah means. Muhammad Rasulullah means is to follow the footstep and the teaching of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Otherwise, you're lying by saying he is Rasulullah. That means you said he is not Rasulullah if you are innovating something else. That means you are Rasulullah because you are inventing something else in Islam. So the first thing, without making it, and I'm sorry to be carried on with it, but the first thing is for your deed to be good, that you have to have the proper aqidah. Without the proper aqidah, you have nothing. That's why when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Kahf, وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. How could that be? How could that be? All your work will be abolished. All your work will not be accepted. The scholars said, in this ayah of Surah Al-Kahf, it means that you, when you started up, you did not have the proper aqidah, period. So whatever you do, it will be like ashes in the wind. Haba, ashes, manthura, like the wind came, blow it away. Or, scholars said, you have started with the proper Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, but then you have committed ridda. You have rejection of Islam. So if you commit ridda, that means your work is gone. Or you commit ridda, or you commit kufr, or you committed shirk, mukhrij min al-millah. Shirk, that will lead to kufr. Then your deed will be haba'an manthura. Okay? So this is it. So the aqidah. The second thing in that category will be to be like what we talked about, al-ikhlas. To be sincere. I have the proper aqidah, I have the proper work. But the proper work has to be sincere for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the second one. And al-ikhlas, we talked about it, is either you're working for Allah or you're working for yourself. Allah or ana. There's no two. You cannot work part of it for Allah, part of it for ana. No. It has to be 100% for Allah. You're working, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your effort, you're wasting everything, you're wasting your money, you're wasting all what your faculty. For what? For Allah or for yourself? This is what the question needs to be asked when we do things. Why do I do this thing and how I do it? That's why the scholar said before you do anything, there are two questions. Why I doing it? Who am I doing it for? And how I'm going to be doing it. I have to do it according to the Sunnah, according to the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ. Why I'm doing it? I'm doing it to please Allah. How I'm doing it? I'm doing it according to the Sunnah. So this is, when you do every work, you have to ask yourself those two questions. Why and how? I'm doing it to please Allah. And how? I'm doing it according to the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ. That's two. The third one is to do the proper good deed. The proper good deed is when you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your focus, in your heart, you need to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to do all the proper things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked you to do. I'm saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and I'm sincere, and I don't perform my salah. It doesn't work. I don't pay my zakah. I'm a rich person, I don't do my zakah. It just doesn't work. I die, I'm going to give my male children only the inheritance. I'm going to prevent my girls from having my inheritance because they have husbands and, they can take care of it. No. You cannot do that. You see, I'm a Muslim, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I don't treat my wife good. It doesn't work. I beat my wife, I put her out of the house, I divorce her, I do this, I do that, I don't treat my children very well, I. Those are violations. You have to do the proper good deed. You have to be the proper good deed. When you're doing it, you're not doing it to please your wife or to please your brother or to please, it's to please Allah. So step one, have aqeedah. Second one, ikhlas. Everything after ikhlas has to go back to ikhlas. Everything after being sincere has to go back to sincere. Why did you come to the masjid? To please Allah. Sincerely for Allah. Well, I came to the masjid to see Brother Hassan or to see Brother so-and-so, to talk to him because he owes me money or he might find me a job or might do this or might do that. No. You come to the masjid to perform the salah for the sake of Allah, for Allah to be pleased with you, to get 27 times of the ajr, for Allah to forgive your sin, because the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Jumu'ah ila al-Jumu'ah, wa Ramadanu ila Ramadan, wal-Umrah ila al-Umrah, wal-Salatu ila al-Salah, kaffaratun lima baynahunna, mashtunibat al-kaba'ir. I come to the salah for my sinful act to go away, to please Allah, to obey the Prophet ﷺ, because he told me to come to the salah, because the salah in the masjid equal 27 times by my salah in the house. Okay? But to come to see brother so-and-so, to talk to brother so, to accomplish this, to accomplish that, no. That might happen. I come, I'm going to see Brother Hassan. But I did not come to see Brother Hassan. I came for Allah. Okay? That's my main target, 100%. Okay? So, this is, and then the fourth one would be Husn al-Khuluq. Husn al-Khuluq is to have good moral value. To have good moral value. This is our problem. This is our problem. Last week, somebody told me that an Afro-American person about a month ago embraced Islam. He doesn't know much about Islam, but they told him, Ya akhi, you became a Muslim right now, If you don't have time to come to the masjid for your prayer, it's okay, but for Jum'ah, you have to come. So the guy, he's a doctor, he came to the masjid and he parked his car. I was reading today, somebody asked Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah a question, and he said, what is the best thing to do? And Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, the best thing to do is what you should do at a particular time. What does that mean? It means if I wake up in the middle of the night, the best thing I can do is to make salah. The best thing I can do is to make istighfar. I am sitting in the masjid reciting Quran. Somebody came to me, he needs help. What is the best thing to do? To stay in the masjid, recite Quran, make salah, or to go help the brother? It's to go help the brother. So back to the statement. The best thing to do is the best according to the situation you are in. Now, all of us know that salah is better than sadaqah. Now, I have a lady here who is sick and needs money for medicine. Which one is better? To be in the masjid and making salah, or to give her the money? No, to give her the money. So the sadaqah here becomes more important than the salah. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh was making i'tikaf in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. A guy came to him and asked him for help. He left the masjid to go and help him. And the person said, he said, Yabna Ammi Rasulillah, the cousin of the Prophet, did you forget that you are in i'tikaf? He said, no. And then he said the statement. He said, لأن أمشي في حاجة أخي خير لي من أن أعتكف في هذا المسجد شهرا. To go and help my brother when he needs me to go with him is better for me than to make i'tikaf in this masjid for a whole month. So the best thing to do is according to the situation that you are in. Why am I saying this? Why do I remember this? I remember this is when the adhan is taking place, we stop. Why? Because the best thing we do when time of adhan is to follow the mu'adhin and to say what he said, and after that, after he finished, we make salah on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we say, Allahumma rabba hadhihi ad-da'wati at-tamma was-salati al-qa'imah ati Muhammadan al-wasilata wal-fadila wad-daraja al-'aliyya ar-rafi'a wab'athu Allahumma maqama mahmudan alladhi wa'adta. This is the best thing we can do. It's better than we was to continue. Even Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, if you enter the masjid, it will be better for you to wait until the mu'adhin finish and you say this dua and then you make tahiyyat al-masjid. So the best thing you do is according to the situation that you are in. Where were you before we started this?
Doctor.
I know Husn al-Khuluq.
African-American doctor.
Huh?
African-American.
So this American doctor came to Jum'ah. He parked his car, he went to Jum'ah. Somebody came late and he parked behind him, blocked his car. You know, doctors has appointments, has to go to the hospital, or people work, engineer, or anybody. They have work they need to return to. You cannot block their car. So this new Muslim came out, waited behind his car, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, starts screaming, please help me, go inside the masjid, find who's blocking the car. The guy came late, blocked his car, decided to pay the 4 rak'ah after Salatul Jumu'ah, and he's maybe making a long surah in his, yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this guy said, is this akhlaqul Islam? Is this Islam that you're telling me about, that you don't care about others? Is this the Islam that people have been giving me books and books about husn al-khuluq, you know, good moral, good adequate behavior and this and that? Is this what Islam is all about?
Did he leave?
Huh?
Did he leave Islam?
I hope not, but the guy who told me the story, he said he was cussing everybody. So inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So husn al-khuluq, be good person, good nature, you know, tongue, you know, and husn al-khuluq, it can show by the way you deal with people. And believe me, the problem that I can see and I hear and people call me for, I'm sorry to say it, but we don't have husn al-khuluq. We don't. Try to touch somebody, he will jump all over you, he's about to kill you. You know, try to do something wrong with somebody. You will find them all vicious and all, you know, why?
SubhanAllah, but you got to look at it this way, Sheikh. We Muslims, we come from societies that we haven't seen peace, tranquility, niceness, whatever, humanity for decades, for hundreds of years. I mean, personally, I come from Afghanistan. It's a land where people go to die. I mean, from very time that I remember war, bloodshed, killing, invasions. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
But does that give
If you put these Americans through what we have been through, they will eat each other alive on the street.
You said so many things that they are wrong, with all respect.
Well, I don't agree with you.
Fine. But that does not give us the right.
I didn't say it gives us, but I'm saying is that...
Will entice us.
Yeah.
No, but it will not entice us. That's what makes the Muslim is different. The Muslim is controlled not by the way he grew up, not by his temper, not by the environment. The Muslim is controlled by La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I have temper like you do. I have needs like you do. I am a human like you do. But as I am a Muslim, I need to be controlled. This is what Islam is all about. What is Islam about? Islam is about control. To control your temper, to control your eye, to control your behavior, to control your tongue, to control your desire, to control your lust, to control what you want. This is what Islam is all about. All of us went through some kind of environment, but that does not give us the license to leave our ta'aleem or our deen or our teaching of our religion.
I agree.
Jazakallah khair. And also, who am I? Another thing is, you know, one of the scholar of his name is Abdul Khaliq, Hassan Abdul Khaliq or whatever, one of the good scholars of Egypt. He said, most of us, they are failed to ask ourselves the question, who am I? Who are you? I am da'iya ila Allah. I have a job. My job is to show people the Islam that I speak about, the Islam that I believe in. If we put that in our mind, I'm a Muslim, I need to advertise for my Islam. So he said, after all this article, he said, who are you? You are a da'iyah. You are a Muslim. These ladies who they are wearing their hijab, why they are wearing their hijab? What they're doing? They're making da'wah, a call for Islam. She's having a banner on her head, I'm a Muslim, I have my hijab. She gets reward from Allah every minute, every second, she's having her hijab on her head. You see, I am a Muslim. So when I'm a Muslim and I'm lying, I'm a Muslim when I am cheating. When I'm a Muslim and I block everybody's car and I don't care about other people. I'm a Muslim and my tongue is loose. How could you be a Muslim? You're giving alone with them. So it's a very good article for that Sheikh Jazallah Khair. He said to remind people, who am I? I'm a da'iyah. If I'm a da'iyah, if I do not forget this, that means all my behavior should represent this. But we forget who we are. We don't have that question in our mind. I forget a lot of times. I do a lot of stupid things. I should not. But if we need to remind ourselves, who am I? I'm a da'iyah. I'm a Muslim. I'm an inviter to Islam. I show people what Islam is all about. And I told the story. One time I walked into Walgreen, and then the lady I gave her money and the lady gave me more than what I deserve. And I told that cashier, I said, I'll never forget that story. I said, you gave me more. You made a mistake. She said, no, I didn't make a mistake. And I said, no, you made a mistake. You gave me $10 extra. She looked at me and she said, you must be a Muslim. Subhanallah.
No way.
Subhanallah, wallahi. She said, you must be a Muslim. That means somebody before me have done this and engraved in her mind that a Muslim is an honest person. How much reward does that person get? He engraved in her mind a Muslim is a truthful person, does not get what doesn't belong to him. You see? And I said, yes, alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim. You see? So we have to, people get affected, yes. Another brother told me, he said, one time he was driving in the snow, too much snow, and he saw people standing by the bus stop. And he cracked the window up and he said, I'm going, for example, to the plaza, if you're way there, and the guy opened the door and jumped in. Totally a strange person, doesn't know, standing by the bus stop, snowing, very cold outside. He drove him. He said after a while, the guy asked me the question, the guy who was telling the story. He said, why did you stop me? 50 cars passed before you and nobody bothered to stop. Why did you stop? And the guy, the driver, said, my Prophet ordered me this. I'm a Muslim and my Prophet Muhammad ﷺ ordered me this. He said, your Prophet ordered you to stop for me, in the snow? He said, yeah. He said, how is that? He said, my Prophet said, وَمَنْ كَانَ مَعَهُ فَضْلُ ظَهْرٍ فَلْيَعُدْ بِهِ عَلَى مَنْ لَا ظَهْرَ لَهُ. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you have in your vehicle or wherever you're riding, if you have a space for another person, give it or offer it to somebody else. I have a car, I have 5 rooms in the car, and I'm obeying the Prophet ﷺ by telling me, if you have more space, you can share it with others. I'm sharing it with you. That's why I called you. And I said, who's your Prophet? He said, Muhammad ﷺ. He said, what church do you go to? He said, I go to the Islamic Center on 99th Street, right here. He said, okay, thank you very much. He dropped him. The guy is telling me, he said, in 3 months, accidentally, I saw the guy in the masjid here. He came and he talked to him. And he said, I remember you. He said, yeah, I remember you. You picked me up when it was very snowy. He said, I came here so many times. I took so many booklets. I did this, I did that. You see? Alhamdulillah, I became a Muslim. Little things you do, they might. The Prophet ﷺ said, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا خير لك مما طلعت عليه حمر النعم. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided by you a person, that will be better for you than whatever the sun shines on, or whatever better than حمر النعم, the red camels, which they are rare. Yeah, yes, sister.
I just want to know how we Muslims deal with other Muslims when they try to harm you. Like, you know them, the Muslims, we should have a relationship, expect them to treat you according to Islam, according to Islamic manners, but they say they spy on you, they try to frame you, they try to harm you with your life because they gossip about you, they try to do things behind your back, and they're Muslims. And you know what they're doing. How we could relate to that? I don't want to harm this Muslim to retaliate. I don't want to harm this Muslim by calling the authority if they're doing something to me. What could we do? To tell them, look, I know what you're doing and it's against Islam and you should not do that. How we Muslims deal with other Muslims who's out there harming you without you doing bigger things, and you tell them, hey, stop, we're Muslims, we should follow Islam, we should do the manners of Islam and this and that. How we could do that to other Muslims?
There are so many answers to that question.
Okay.
I'm going to give you title,
That's why we have 10 minutes, but just
but I'm going to give you title. I'm going to give you bullets.
But just about sister, first she brought some food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the salah,
Please
or
answer the
before the
question,
salah?
brother. Jazakallah khair.
So
After the
reminder,
salah.
yani don't take that 14
Okay.
minutes, take 5-6 minutes, inshallah.
Yalla, inshallah.
We'll get to eat the food, inshallah.
Sister, we need to remember, am I better or the Prophet?
The Prophet, inshallah.
خلاص, Jazakallah khair. The Prophet ﷺ, how much they hurt him?
Allah.
They accused him with his wife. Tamam? They disobey him. They lied to him. They did so many things. No. Wait.
Oh, okay.
The Muslims.
The Muslim.
I'm
Okay.
talking about the Muslim.
Okay.
The Muslim, Mustih was a Muslim. He was talking about his wife. Tamam?
Yes.
And he heard the Prophet. And he was... So, this is a normal life. A normal life that we should have people against us. Whether I am a prophet, I'm a da'iyah, I'm a Muslim, I'm this and that. This is a fact. I have to accept. The scholar also, Al-Imam Ibn Ashur radiallahu anhu said, beautiful comment. He said, every time you have a problem, read the last ayah of Surah Al-Imran. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. اصبروا وصابروا. You need to understand with all of us the difference between اصبر وصابر. There's two different meanings, they're not the same. I have to make sabr on what I'm doing. I have to make sabr on what people are doing to me. Because people are going to be doing to me. You see? This is a fact of life. My wife talk against me in my house. I don't like what she does. I don't like what he does. He does not like what I do. That's the nature of
How
life.
you protect yourself?
Huh?
How you protect yourself?
Protect?
If maybe your Muslim neighbor is spying on you,
There's
trying
nothing-
to frame you, call the authority on you, do something horrible to you.
No.
How we protect ourselves?
Why do I need to protect myself? I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You say whatever you want to say. Do whatever you want to do. I'm doing it sincerely for Allah. I'm doing it for the sake of Allah. You want to hurt me? You deal with Allah. And I'm dealing
Can we
with
pray
Allah.
against them?
Huh?
Pray against them like us. Pray against them. ندعي عليهم.
ادعي عليهم. Why?
هم عم يأذون.
بدعي عليهم الله يهديهم.
الله يهديهم.
Look, I told one guy one time, if everybody is hurting me, I'm going to curse him, the whole people will be wrong. The whole people will be crippled if Allah answered my call. There are too many people hurting me. There are too many people hurting you. But you're working for Allah or working for yourself. You're working for Allah, that's a fact of life. I'm working for Allah. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, sincerely for Allah. Whoever likes it. Whoever does not like it, does not like it. I don't care. And my heart is safe with everybody. I'm going to pray for everybody. You see? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم تقبل منا وتب علينا يا أرحم الراحمين واغفر لنا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم.